What's happening, Achievers? Ajit Sidhu here from Invincible Achievers. Let's talk about the mind. Let's get the mind and dissect it right to the beginning of what creates achievement, what creates success, what's the beginning point of creating an invincible achievement mindset. Once we dissect it, the keys to your car, your driving force of your life and your complete achievement is one thing and one thing only. It's the questions that we ask ourselves on a regular basis. This is something that I've mentioned previously, and I'm going to deep dive into this. How can we ask the right questions on a regular basis? So the inner chat that occurs in our head, it all starts off with a question. And this is something I heard from Tony Robbins. And when I did hear this, I thought, is that right? Is that correct? And I said, whoa. Did I just ask myself a question? I did ask myself a question, right? So by asking questions, all of a sudden, my mind was triggering off certain areas that were bringing back some information and saying, is that right? Yeah, it must be right. Oh wow, ask myself a question. And you go down a snowball effect of inner chat that you can't control. It's like any videos you watch on YouTube or even this, something that resonates really well with you, your brain triggers off a question. And when your brain triggers off a question, you start asking yourself and start talking to yourself. And then you miss out on some valuable content, valuable other information. And then you think, oh, wow, I've missed a few things. What am I doing? Let's focus. And then you focus. And then you watch the rest of it. But you missed out on a lot of things because of the question process. And that's why they always say you should go back and watch it again, because there might be a few things that you've missed. So anything that you have achieved in your life has been done by you asking the correct questions, the most empowering questions. And anything you have not achieved is because you're asking the wrong questions, or you've asked the wrong questions. If you just go through the process of analyzing exactly what you achieved and what you haven't achieved, it was just the questions that you asked, and if it was empowering or not empowering. So, a few examples of this. Let's reverse engineer it. I'm all about reverse engineering. Anything you want in life, you need to start off from the end and work your way back. But to get to the end, you need to ask the correct question. For instance, if you want to transform your body, who has transformed their body into something that I would like? That's the question you ask. And all of a sudden, you find someone. And once you found that somebody, you go through the process of how do they do it? And then you start working your way backwards to the point where you are. And that's where you start. So you have to ask the right question about who has done it. So, for example, there's a few examples here. Bill Gates. Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft Computers, a billionaire, asked one question when he started. He asked, how can I become the dominating force within physical computers? And when he asked that question over and over again as he was going through the process. Once he asked that question, his brain started to work. His brain started to figure out how that can become possible. And as he went through the process, he did become the dominating force within computers by the operating system, Microsoft operating systems. And he made billions. However, when the internet came about, because he was asking the same question and hadn't changed that question, he missed out on the internet. Yahoo jumped in, Google dominated, and then Microsoft Explorer and Bing came in. So you need to ask the right questions, but continuously be aware of, is the question you're asking relevant and right for the time? And maybe it needs to be changed. Kaizen, constant and never-ending improvement. Kaizen, you need to constantly improve. Another example, Steve Jobs. Anyone who knows Steve Jobs' life history, he started the company, Apple. He's an entrepreneur. As the business started growing, he got to a point where he was constantly innovating, because that's what entrepreneurs do. Innovate, keep moving things forward. And the company was getting so big that they didn't have the capacity to keep innovating. So what did they do? They got him and kicked him out. They flung him out. And he went down a right spiral of depression, thinking, I lost my company. And what happened when that company, Apple, continued to grow? It got to a peak and started going down because other competitors came about. Big giants came about and started taking their customers. And then they had to bring Steve back and said, Steve, we need your help. Come back. You need to innovate. We need to do something better. What did he ask? He didn't come back and say, listen, guys, gather up, call a team meeting. How can we beat our competition? Or how can we be the dominating factor in this computer industry? He didn't ask those questions. But what question did he actually ask? He asked this one thing. He said, we believe people with passion can change the world for the better. So how can we be different? And how can we be better? From that, they came up with the statement, think different. And from thinking different, they revolutionized the world. So the question they actually asked is, we believe people with passion can change the world for the better. They said the world for the better. They didn't say the industry that they are in. They didn't say the computer industry. So from that, they changed the world by changing the music industry first and the entertainment industry. They didn't continue making computers and compete against everyone because they started thinking differently. Think different. That's their statement. Think different. They began thinking different globally. And they brought the iPod out. And from the iPod, they went and revolutionized the entire music industry by bringing out iTunes, the App Store. And from there, the entertainment industry, they brought the iPad in. And from its snowball effect, and became one of the largest companies in the world. They asked the right question. Another example is Disney. Everyone knows Disney World. He asked, when he actually went with his story is fantastic. I think I've done a video on him. He went to a fun fair with his children, and when he went there, he saw his children having so much fun. They were playing on the roundabout, and he was sitting there on the bench, and he could see so much litter everywhere, and he could see that people didn't really in the fun fair, those people that were taking the tickets, they didn't really care much. They'd sit down here, put the belt on, off you go. And the kids were enjoying themselves, but the grown-ups weren't. And he looked around and he thought, how can I create the happiest and most fun place on this earth? And when he asked that question, he created it. And Disney is the happiest place on earth. And it's happiest for everyone, not just for children. You don't get the grumpy conductors to say, sit down, do this. They have a huge smile on their face and making people's lives so much better. So they asked the right question. So asking the right question can change the direction of your life, can change your destiny. It is the driving force of your life, asking the right questions. You can ask these questions not only in business. I know I've gone down the road of saying 3 examples of business, but with parenting, for instance. I mean, I'm a parent. What questions can we ask? What questions do we ask? My kid's awake today. I wonder what they're going to be doing now. They're going to annoy me today. Is that the questions? Or is the right question, how can I be the most loving, caring, compassionate father or mother today that can make a difference to my child's life, that will create such powerful, memorable moments that are full of love? Isn't that a better question to ask? And once you ask that question, all of a sudden, poof, you ask and you shall receive. You can ask anything about relationship. You could say, oh, here we go. The old ball and chain is here now. Telling me to take the rubbish out. Or you can say, how can I be the most passionate lover in the entire world for my partner? And I can give all my heart and make their life special. Isn't that a more empowering question? Family, you can do this with family. You can do it with your hobbies. How can I improve myself? Martial arts is one of my key hobbies, exercising and martial arts. If I just said, oh God, here we go again. I'm gonna get punched in the face with bloody nose, maybe busted up teeth. Do you think I would continue it? No. I ask myself, how can I improve myself constantly and never endingly? Improving my skill. These are the right questions. How can I enjoy what I'm doing with the most love and passion for what I'm doing? That's the right question. So the next question is, why don't we do it? Why don't we actually do what we want to do? Why don't we achieve it? Yeah, questions is the key. But it's also rituals and habits. Now, rituals and habits, everyone hears ritual and habits, ritual and habits. Let's see your ritual habits. What are rituals and habits? Now, rituals are things that you do on a daily basis, on a regular basis. It's your routine. Rituals. Every single day. You can think of your routine. If I say to you, what is your routine for the day? And you say, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I go downstairs, I make some food, I get my kids ready, or I go to work, I drive down, I sit in traffic. These are your rituals. You do this on a regular basis. But what do you do when you wake up? What questions do you ask? Oh, here we go, the alarm's off again. Boom, snooze. Oh, here we go again. Here I go, brush my teeth, go downstairs, eat some muffin and have a cappuccino or something. Destroy the insides already before the day has even started. Off I go in the traffic. Be annoyed with the person next to you. Be annoyed with that person. Why is that? Oh, grandma, put your glasses on. You shouldn't even be on the road. Oh, traffic lights. Keep going. Is that the ritual that we have? And why do we have those rituals? Because we're not asking the right questions. How can you make your rituals more empowering? Can you be more grateful in the morning? Oh, thank you, God. I'm awake. I'm alive. I survived the night. I'm brushing my teeth. Thank you for yesterday. Thank you for today. I'm going to have an amazing time in the morning. Drink something empowering. Have some green juice. Ooh, some protein shake if you need to. Some organic protein shake. And off you go in the car. Put some personal development stuff on. Get an education. Traffic. Fantastic. I get another half an hour education. Keep going. Help someone. Spread a smile. Isn't that so much more empowering? And the question you have to ask is, how can I do that on a regular basis? Because your inner chat will take over us, but that's rituals. But why can't we change rituals? It's because of the habits. So the two things, ritual and habits, they are brothers and sisters. They go together. The twins. Anything that we do on a ritual basis, on a regular basis, that's on the top half, our brain. We know it. It's on a conscious level. Anything that we do on a habit, and they say you need to do something 7 to 12 times to create a habit, it goes down in our conscious and we forget about it. It just becomes our regular thing. Now you can easily see a ritual and a habit on people. Now, anyone who doesn't have a ritual of exercising, you can see someone that hasn't got the ritual of regular exercise and regular eating of healthy foods. But anyone that does have a ritual, you can see it. They've got good physique. But anyone who's got a habit, they've got an outstanding physique. They're athletes in life. And that's because it's a habit. They will not miss a day. That is the difference. So, how do we get these rituals and habits? It's by, again, dissecting the brain. It's the questions we ask. But because we're not aware of it, our questions that we're asking have become a habit. And to change the habit that deep down, so anything that's a ritual is up here in our conscious mind, and then imagine a funnel that goes down here, and it goes down, and once it goes down here, it goes deep down into the core, and then you've forgotten about it. You don't even have to think about it because it's a habit. But how do you change this habit? How do you change the deep down here? You have to start overloading it with rituals, empowering questions. And that goes down and overtakes the old habits and becomes a new habit, a habit of growth, a habit of success. So the only way this is achieved is through repetition and repeating over and over again. And that's what rituals are. You're repeating it over and over again, but you need to be aware of your rituals. And like they say, the mother of all skill is repetition, but it's also the destruction of all that could be good. Because if you are practicing on a repetitive basis anger, because it's become a ritual of yours to do it, where'd you learn how to drive from? Where'd you get your driving license from? From a cereal box? That kind of stuff. That becomes a ritual whilst you're in the traffic, but then it goes down, deep down, and becomes a habit. And once it's a habit, how you do anything is how you do everything. And that will spill over into your life, into your work, into your relationships. And that's where repetition can become the mother of all destruction as well. So repetition is the mother of all skill as long as you're repeating something that is empowering and something that is great. So you just need to change your rituals. And the way you change your rituals is by asking empowering questions. Easy. It's that easy. But we need to be doing it on a regular basis and be aware of it. And that is so important. I've seen from my life, and I've been trying to shorten it. Every single time I learn something new, I do something new, or I do a different routine in the gym, it takes me 3 months to see the difference. 3 months. And after 3 months, I completely forget about it. I'm like, oh geez, I learned all that information, I read, I geeked out on all that information, and I completely forgot about it. But what I've been doing is going through all my journals, my notes. This is the reason why they say you should note everything down, because I'm going through it. And as I'm going through it, I'm thinking, wow, 6 months ago, I said I was going to do that, and I'm doing it without even thinking. And I realized it takes 3 months. 3 months of, number one, powering questions on a repetitive basis. And with that, you are doing a ritual on a daily basis that is leading you to success and is slowly filtering down, and it becomes a habit, and that's when you forget about it. And that process takes me 3 months. It might take you 1 week. You know, you have to assess yourself, but it takes me 3 months to go through a process. So that's with anything, with the body, with the mind, with the skill. You actually feel like you're not achieving. You feel like you're not doing. If you've been on a course, for instance, I went on a business mastery course 6 months ago, and I've just reviewed the whole process, and I realized everything I wrote in the business mastery is absolutely amazing. I recommend every single one of you to at least fully immerse yourself within one of Tony Robbins' courses. If it's Unleash the Power Within, Business Mastery, Date with Destiny, any of those, they're fantastic. But I went to the Business Mastery because that is my passion. I've been to UPW before, but I realized everything I wrote at the Business Mastery, and I thought I'd forgotten, I've become already, because it took me 3 months for it to go down, and I moved on to new stuff. So the things that I'm learning today, I'll reap the rewards in March. It's exactly like sales. That's the formula of sales as well. Anything you do today, you're going to reap the rewards in 3 months. So if you don't do anything today, you're not going to reap the rewards in 3 months. You've got to plant the seeds now, because it'll take 3 months. Well, it takes in the sales world, in the sales process, when you're doing follow-up calls and stuff, it takes 3 months. But also in my life, I've realized maybe I've just hit on a secret, guys. Maybe 3 is the actual magic number. 3 months. And if we know it's 3 months, then we should actually fully immerse ourselves for 3 months and see what difference it can make. I know everyone might be thinking 3 months, wow, that takes a lot of work. But guys, do you remember when it was September? Now it's January at the moment, 2019. Do you remember when it was September? That was 3 months ago. Look how quickly it goes. Time flies. So it's all about asking the right questions. And once you've got the right questions, you make it into a ritual, and it becomes a habit. And once it's a habit, your life is changing. And your life has already started changing by the right questions. So my advice to everyone is to do this one simple thing. And one simple thing is take time to think of the right questions on a daily basis. There's 4 questions that I say for myself on a daily basis. I've got it on my phone. I read it off in the morning. The first thing when I come downstairs, I open my phone. I don't look at any social media. I don't even like technology in the morning. I just use it for the notes section. One of the questions is, what am I happy about in my life right now? You can ask that question for yourself. What am I excited about in my life right now? Just think about it for yourself. What am I grateful for in my life right now? When you write your great gratitudes, when you think your gratitudes, it's always going to come down to your family and some portions of your work and your achievements, but more your family. Who do I love? And who loves me? These are empowering questions that directs your mind into empowering life. So guys, I've just given you the keys to the driving force of your life. This is it. It's the questions. Imagine you're about to get imagine you see a Lamborghini sitting there or a Ferrari and someone says, here you go. Here's the keys. I've just done that for you guys. Now use it. Use it. You know that the driving force in your life is the questions that you ask. And by having empowering questions on a repetitive basis, you do it as a ritual. And from the ritual, it goes into a habit. And with a habit, you have a more empowering life. And that changes everything. So guys, keep adding value, keep spreading the love. And just remember, we're just one question away from changing the future. Take care. Bye.